another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Now today, I want to do something a little bit different. I generally try to keep it positive on this channel. I call out a few things that I don't like, and I'm very honest, but I try to keep it positive. But not today. Today, we're talking about the 5 watches I absolutely hate. Now, before we get started, let me just say, if you own any of these watches, this is based only in my opinion, but boy, do you have bad taste. I'm just joking. But still, if you own any of these watches, they're not my taste. But yeah, so what can I say? You should have bought a better fucking watch. And today, I'm wearing the Panerai Lume Marina. I got the Hulk off the wrist that was hogging all the time. Panerai for today. And of course, before we get started again, check out delraywatch.com, link in the description below. I just got in a couple of very cool and very well priced Zin watches, particularly one of the Power Reserve chronographs, the Sin 956. Very, very cool. I've got a very interesting Oris and a Wolf of Wall Street style Tag Heuer in yellow gold. Very, very cool. All that and a lot more at delraywatch.com. Go check it out. So yeah, 5 watches I really dislike. Now these watches I may dislike because I don't think they're any good, or I may dislike the aesthetics or the price point, for various reasons, and I'm going to explain why. And these are in no particular order, except for the last one, which I think is one of the biggest atrocities against horology ever. I mean, it should have been the watchmaker should have been on trial at The Hague for what he did to this watch. So yeah, stick around for that. But to start off, we're going to go with not so much a watch, but a watch brand. And that is UBoat. UBoat, designed by the Italian designer Italo Fontana, which, kind of makes this very interesting looking watch. But a lot of it doesn't work for me, starting by the name. I mean, who wants to name their brand UBoat after a Nazi instrument of war from World War II? I mean, so that already doesn't inspire much confidence. Then, these dive watches, which mainly come on leather straps, are massive. Now, I'm no stranger to a big watch, but I'm talking 50 millimeter massive. Now, pair that with display casebacks and Sellita 2824 clones, and you have a huge watch with a tiny little movement that just looks really, really awkward. And then on top of that, their retail price points, $2,000 to $3,000, can generally be found under $1,000, heavily discounted on the internet, because UBoat is dumping stock quicker than, people jumping off a sinking ship. And you have a mixture of a brand that I don't like the design. I don't think they're badly made. I just don't like the design. I don't like the marketing. I think Mr. Fontana has other projects he cares more about than his watch brand. And we just have kind of a Panerai ripoff with a lot less charm and a lot lower sales. But, that's a good thing. That means I don't have to stare at that many when I'm walking around, because no one's really buying them. And next we go with not an entire brand, but an entire line within a brand. And that is Breitling for Bentley. Whew. These things are ugly. I mean, not only are they massive, but they've got that Bentley grill style bezel. And on top of that, I don't know anybody that drives a Bentley that wears a Breitling. I mean, if you're driving a Bentley, you're wearing a Rolex, a Patek, an FP Journe, anything but a Breitling. I mean, honestly, I've never met anybody who drove a Bentley that wore a Breitling or even liked Breitling. So already that association doesn't mean much to me. Yes, they're high-quality watches, but you mix their angular case shapes, that awful bezel. Once again, the dial spacing is all wonky because they use out of movements, and the dial's huge, and the chronographs are right in the middle of the dial. It just doesn't look right. Now, you pair that with their asking prices of anywhere between $5,000 to $12,000 in steel and double or triple that in gold, and you have a recipe for a watch that I will never personally buy. Now, as I said, these are well-made watches, very, very well-made, but even when I worked in an AD, I couldn't even give a Breitling for Bentley away. So I just don't get it. Aesthetically, they do nothing for me. Marketing, they really do nothing for me. I don't even the marketing doesn't even make sense to me. Whereas, people rag on Breitling a lot, including myself, for their resale value, but I own a Breitling. I love the Navitimer. I love the Chronomat. I think the B01 is a super great value. But Breitling for Bentley, Jesus, no, just no. Now we come to a single watch, or kind of a watch line, but represented by kind of one watch that they've made an entire video about. And that is the Panerai Luminor Due, or the Luminor 2. Guys, y'all know I love Panerai. I own 2 Luminors. I own a radio mirror. I'm Italian. I'm a fanboy, and I know there's a lot of Panerai haters out there because of the basic movements, and they're not great value for money, but I think the history is cool and the design is great. And I'm not going to dwell on this too much because I made a whole video about it, but Panerai took their iconic design, they shrunk it, which, okay, not everybody is a big guy like me. I can understand that. They put a questionable micro rotor movement in it and a snap-on case back with 30-meter water resistance, yet they kept the crown guard. Now, everybody's argument in my last video was like, Federico, when's the last time you dived? Or who the hell dives with these watches? That's not the point, morons. And I'm sorry, but honestly, if you made that comment, you're a moron. The point of luxury is that it can do certain things. You're not giving anything up for a very high-end product. How many people with Ferraris drive 217 miles an hour if you drive the Ferrari, the new Superfast? None of them, or very, very few of them, but that's not the point. It can, and that's the point of a luxury product. Even though you're never going to dive that deep, it can. But this can't. It just looks like it can. It's like a Panerai with like a fake ID. It looks like a Panerai. It's designed by Panerai, but it's everything Panerai isn't, which is a tough, rugged sports watch. This just looks like a tough, rugged sports watch, but if you sneeze on this thing wrong, you're gonna fog up the crystal. What the hell is the point of that? I'm all for brand DNA, and this one is kind of against everything Panerai stands for. Anyway, I'm gonna link the video right up here so you can watch it. Enough ranting about this. Now we have a watch that is genuinely a good timepiece. I just really don't like it. The JLC Reversal Squadra. Now, I love JLC. I think they make great movements. They're the watchmaker's watchmaker. The JLC Reversal Squadra is made to a very high level. But boy, did this one get slapped with the ugly stick. I mean, you take the Reverso, which is one of my favorite watches, designed with the golden ratio. And what do? You take away the golden ratio and you make it look like poop. I mean, different strokes for different folks, but this one is the proportions are wrong, it's angular, it's got, some of them have a round automatic movement, which is visible through the case back, which takes away the charm of the movement shaped the same as the case. It's too big. However, it is a fantastic watch. It's just not for me. I really think it is one ugly son of a gun. And now we go with the worst watch ever conceived by humanity, a watch that should never exist, a brand that should not exist, a customer who ordered it who has questionable judgment, and we're talking about the custom-made $180,000 watch by T-Ray for Kanye West. A gold watch gem set with Kanye's likeness on the dial and in quartz. Brother, you paid $180,000, and some jeweler on 47th Street just made a profit of $165,000 on you. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of gold. There's some crusty SI2 stones in that, a $10 quartz movement, a $50 alligator band, and a watch that the only way you're ever going to get $1 out of it is if you melt it. Now, not that Kanye needs the money. So apart from the fact that it's hideous, and I dislike it just because it's hideous, I really hate it because you got robbed. I mean, completely ripped off. I mean, to the point where you don't know the concept of money ripped off. Because as someone who's a watch dealer and who has family members that are jewelers, that thing it's just, yeah, dude, you got completely robbed. I can't even eloquently put it how much I hate this watch. It's just complete waste of gold, diamonds, and complete waste of your dignity, Kanye. By the way, if you want another watch, give us a call at Del Rey Watch. I will show you something much, much nicer for a much fairer price. Anyway, guys, I know today was a little bit different, much more opinionated, much stronger opinions than I usually give, but I get passionate about the things I don't like, and these are the 5 watches I really dislike. I hope you guys found it interesting. Leave a list of watches you dislike in the comments section below. Let me know, and also please don't forget to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. It really does help, and subscribe and turn on the notifications icon so you don't miss any more content. Anyway, guys, thank you for sticking around for another episode of Federico Talks Watches, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.